I'm telling them you're coming. There. That's our Ryan. He wasn't worried about it at all.
Number 12, Egan Friends and family, welcome to the Eastern Washington University Recreation Center for this PAC8 battle between the hometown Eastern Washington Eagles and the visiting San Jose State University Spartans. My name's Tyler Pisani, joined as always by Gary Allen. And I say that, but you've been on your own the last 3 games, Gary. I've been slacking a little bit.
I'm glad to have you back. Best play-by-play guy in college hockey. It's hard to beat those shoes, man. It's hard.
Let's take a look at the starting lineup for both of these two teams. Up front for the Spartans, it's Felipe Castellanos, Danny Berry, and Chris Dysart. Behind them on the blue line, Dolan Hamilton and Brian Brem. In between the pipes for San Jose State, not Nick Check-Lennis as he graduated last year, but Camus Stevens. We've got some fun trivia about Nick here in a little bit, but let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Eastern Washington Eagles. Starting up front, Eli Nickish, Cole Best, and Jake Nickish. And behind them on the blue line, Keegan Clark and the captain, Trenton Wells. In between the pipes, number 35, Scott Kennedy. Eastern battling pretty hard last week, Gary, over in Butte. Took a series split against the Montana Tech Ore Diggers. I don't think that was what Eastern was hoping when they were on that charter bus on the way over to Montana, but were able to walk away with 3 of the 4 points, had an overtime loss and a shootout win. But Gary, you had a chance to watch this team live against Western Washington, the last PAC8 contest here. Went well for Eastern Washington, but they still seem a little spotty this year, still trying to gel.
They do, and the problem is they have so many injured players. Last week in Saturday's game against the Diggers, they were down 10 players. I'm amazed at their record, even though it might not sound good, 4-6. They've just been hurt this year. If they can get back together, I think you're going to see some of that choppiness work itself out. They just had been making makeshift lines for the last 6 games, actually.
Well, now a big chance here. The last time San Jose State was in this building was in the PAC8 championship tournament last year. And Eastern fans remember that the net just kept coming dislodged on one end of the ice. So what did they do this year? They went out and installed marsh bags.
Well, I think they felt bad. They felt bad that, San Jose was having trouble with the goalpost. And but you mentioned last year, SJSU, they were there. But Check-Lennis, I'm sorry, he's got to be one of the top goaltenders I've ever seen play at this level. That guy was incredible.
Well, and he is, I don't know if it's officially an NHL goaltender, as here battling down the ice was Pellerin for Eastern Washington. Got the puck away from Blake Brem. But Nick Check-Lennis named the E-Bug, the emergency backup goaltender for the San Jose Sharks this year. That's a pretty big title, pretty big role to pick up as an ACHA D2 netminder.
Well, that's how good he was. I mean, to be frank with you, when I heard that, I wasn't surprised. The kid is just talented, plain simple. So, no, I was not stunned that he got that position.
Well, we had a chance to see that last year here in this building, but new year, new teams for both of these squads. Quite a few new players. That one taken away and neutralized. Here comes Lusk up the right side. He's going to circle back around the net. Still a little bit of that fog from intros lingering just above ice level. Arver going to have to chase over to the far side. Eastern able to keep the puck here in the attacking zone early on. But San Jose State, the first one to get a shot off here in this first period.
Well, that's one thing, Eastern. If they can keep doing this, besides getting healthy, what I've noticed, the games that they've won have been really competitive, and they've got a quick start. They came out, got a couple, 2-3 goals. If you look at the UW game, they just jumped on them. They dominated that game for 48 minutes. They just had a letdown toward the end. When they get a good start, that's when you start seeing their speed, and that's where their talent really shows. So hopefully they get off to a good start tonight.
And so far, they have that pressure, looking for an odd angle shot on the far side. And here come the Spartans in those gray, blue, and yellow uniforms, moving from right to left across your screen.
The Spartans are a good hockey club. I remember watching for the last 2 years, actually. I mean, again, they don't have Check-Lennis, who was just a joy to watch. He was hard to play against, but they've had good squads the last couple 2-3 years. So I expect this squad to be similar to how they've been playing the last couple years. But I really like Eastern's team. I truly do. Throw their record out at 4-6. They got a lot of talent this year, and I think it comes back to that depth that they developed from the recruits that they brought in. That I think you're really seeing how valuable that is.
And I think that's both a positive and a negative for the team this year because they have so many new players out there. It's taking them a little bit longer to gel. We see that often in college hockey, especially at this level when a team kind of resets. They've only got a couple of weeks before school starts. I mean, really, these guys have only been playing together for maybe 10 weeks at this point.
Yeah, and I go with that point, but also with this squad, they gelled pretty quick. When they came out and played Idaho and stuff, you could see it. They just lost too many players.
Now here's an opportunity for Jake Nickish. That one turned away by Camus Stevens, his first real save of the contest. First one on the board anyways.
But I tell you, two guys have really picked up as the Nickish brothers. They have played outstanding. They started off well this year, but they keep getting stronger. They've been very impressive the last 4 games.
Now the puck over to the far side. Lund there. He's trying to put it towards the center. Had a player there in Myers and couldn't get it to him. Heading the other way are the Spartans. Morris through neutral ice. He pushes it ahead. And it looks like we're going to get a interference call from across the ice here. And it looks like it's going to be Eastern Washington heading to the box for the first time. This has been a problem for them this year. Their inability to stay out of the box as Jelinek going to take a 2-minute timeout for interference.
I'm serious, Tyler. I was going to mention that. Another key to tonight's game is stay out of the penalty box. It couldn't have been 20 seconds ago. I was thinking about saying that, and then I spaced it. But, I liked your point, though, about having so many new guys and how it takes a little while to gel, and that is true. But the injuries, that's what's hurting. They're really forming quickly. And so when you have that many players out and with so many new players, it's really hard to really form an idea of what you want to do.
Turnover and a big dump down the ice. That one netward as they're going to make Camus Stevens save one from the other end of the ice. Now Dysart picks it up along the low wall right in front of us. He leaves it behind him kind of towards the blue line and is knocked off of the puck. Some pushing and shoving and coming away with it this time was Castellanos. Number 1 line back out there for San Jose State. This one's going to go to the far side, in and out of the midsection of Scott Kennedy in these brand new red uniforms for Eastern Washington. This one picked up just at the blue line by Barry. Barry takes an odd angle shot. It's going to go back behind the net to Dysart. Dysart plays with it in the corner, gets it back up top to Barry. Now all the way out into neutral ice, and with a full head of steam, here comes Peyton Lund. Tries to get past one player, able to get the puck, but chops it out towards the center of the ice. And a gray jersey there waiting. A little bit of scattering here as coming back across the line is Barry. Turned away by Kennedy over to the far side where Dysart for the Spartans picks it up. Barry with it in front of the Zamboni corner, loses it in the rough ice over there. And again, it squirts out to Chris Dysart. Back up to the top of the zone, now near side on the stick of Brown. Brown's going to go back up top to Brem, now near side to Brown. Trying to stretch the zone out on this man advantage for San Jose State. Just 15 seconds left here for Eastern Washington to kill off. The Spartans doing a fantastic job of handling the puck. And that one off of the leaping Spartan just outside of the blue paint. Unlucky break there for the Spartans. Eastern going to have a face-off in their own end, down a guy, but just 3 seconds left on that power play.
But the Spartans did a nice job of getting their cycle game down low, and that's what was keeping Eastern a little bit off stride because they decided to go down low with it, and their passing was extremely crisp on that. But again, you got to tip your cap to the Eagles. They were out there trying to block every shot that was possible. And the way Kennedy's been playing, there's going to have to be a lot harder shots against him than what he's been seeing right now.
The dump right to center ice as out of the box was Jelinek as Nickish off the bench right out front, and Lusk unable to find the rubber with his twig. Off to the near side now. Roach, quick pass off to the far side. Down low, Puck tipped out front into the midsection of Stevens for his second save of the contest. A big one at that.
I'll tell you, one kid that you got to watch in San Jose, they have to know about him is Dom Zerkis. That kid is incredible. Anytime he has the puck, I swear, in the offensive zone, I think it's going in.
But he's made a name for himself in his short time here at Eastern Washington. There's a couple of players, him, Joel Lusk. You talk about Dom Zerkis. He's second on the team in points with 16, 14 goals, 2 assists. Peyton Lund leading the Eagles with 24 points, split equally, 12 goals, 12 assists.
He's another talent for Eastern. And it's just good to see that, again, I go back to, but the depth of the Eagles this year.
And it's something that they've definitely had to use with some injuries on the team. We mentioned it, a couple of players just not healthy enough to suit up every night. And this year, Eastern has enough players that doesn't hamstring them too much. They have enough players to have some scratches. And now with some speed on the far side, a couple of steps off of the leg pads, that shot by the Spartans. That one off of the stick of Arquero. The big hit behind the net separates the Spartan from the puck, and a one-man wrecking crew out there in Sean Smith. Smitty, a former Tacoma Rocket.
And he's got that feistiness about him. That's what I like about Smitty. He'll let you know he's out there.
That one into the air and basket caught by Scott Kennedy. But speaking of the Tacoma Rockets, we had a chance to see Ramsey Wallen here a couple of weeks ago. He's a prospect for the team. He was out at Eagles here in town from Longview, Washington. But Eastern has built this kind of funnel, I would say, from the Tacoma Rockets right to the Eastern Washington Eagles. Joel Lusk, Sean Smith. There's been a couple of other players here in recent memory, and it was great to get a chance to go watch Ramsey play out there.
Yeah, it was fun watching him because when we were down there scouting him in Vegas, it was good seeing him play with the Rockets. And then another kid that I'm really excited about that we scouted, and I really hope he comes, is Cody Jacobson. He's out of Brookings, South Dakota, and that kid is incredible.
And Peyton Lund there saw the puck loose in the legs of Stevens and poked at it so hard he broke his stick.
Yeah, that happened. But, so those two kids, and that goes through your pipeline you were talking about, Tyler, is that with Jacobson and Whalen, that's the beauty how I've noticed the last 2 years. Eastern's just going out recruiting these top-notch players to make that transition when they lose their seniors a little less painful. But Jacobson and Whalen are two outstanding hockey players. Just a joy.
8 seniors on the team this year for Eastern Washington. So as much as this year was a rebuild year for them, a restructure year, next year is going to need just as many players. A huge shot from the captain, Wells, from distance. He's got an absolute rocket from the blue line. Just a little bit off the mark. Leaves the pass there for, just like that was Eli Nickish. Now over to the far side again. Bouncing puck near side. Eastern able to get some shots off, but not able to get them on net. And a swing and a miss there by Jake Nickish. Into the zone. That time it was Blake Brem. Right into the leg pads of the Eastern Washington player. And Wells going to dump that one in again off of the wall. And this time, a nice, easy, cushiony landing there for Jake Nickish in front of the net. We'll have another stoppage just short of halfway through this opening period.
Well, I think you've hit it on the head with Eastern's offense right now. They're not getting a ton of shots off, but they're getting some opportunities. So that means they're moving really well, and that's what I noticed in Butte. They moved quite well last weekend.
Chance right out front, and again, knocked away. Stevens, there was an Eagle crashing right at the front door. I think that was Sam Thompson. Stevens faked him out, and Thompson got the puck, but he was not ready for it. This one back out into the neutral zone. Just want to take a second to give a shout out to our booster club, the Eagles Hockey Booster Club. They help support this team, and if you want to help support them too, you can head over to eagleshockeyboosters.com or find them on Facebook. But this year they've provided things like Meals on the Road, the brand new goal horn that we have here in Cheney, a stick bag for the team, and so much more coming. They also help with the youth camp. Again, you can get involved at eagleshockeyboosters.com and help support the team. An incredible group out here. We can't wait to get some fun group activities for the boosters as well.
Well, I'm hoping to hear that horn tonight quite a bit, to be honest with you. It's a nice sounding horn. I'd like to hear it.
Well, I heard from several people that were in Montana that third period against Tech in the second game was some of the better hockey Easterns played for the entire year. They finally kind of got on the same page and clicked. And it looks like we're seeing a lot of that same carry over to this game so far. Well,
they're using the body a little bit more too, and I've noticed that with the Eagles. When they do that, they're a force to deal with. You saw with the Durkas, he decided to say hello to the San Jose player, and I mean that's just part of their game. And when they do it, they have a ton of speed, and that bodes well for them. And again, they got a couple turnovers. If you notice in that neutral zone, they used the body on it. The puck squirted out. Even though it wasn't quality shots, they still got it back where they had an opportunity. And that's their game this year. They're really efficient at it when everything's in sync.
Well, and the one thing that you never lose with Eastern hockey, bouncing puck through the legs and just wide of the net for the Eagles. But the one thing you never seem to lose with Eastern hockey is that physicality. New coaches, new players. It doesn't matter. That physicality is ingrained in this program. And we see that again, as you mentioned, here tonight.
And you hit that is because I was listening to a broadcast when they're playing the Huskies, and their announcer kept mentioning how physical Eastern was, and that was the first time they played it. So that had to be in the past too. But that's a big, strong part of their game is use their body.
Puck back behind the net, looking for Myers out front. Puck loose in the crease, still loose, poked out into the corner. Now near side, Lund winds up, takes a shot, out of the net goes Stevens, but no red jersey there, able to hold on to it. As the puck poked away from Castellanos from behind. He's going to go up to the top of the zone, looking for that pass right out front, but just trailing Danny Barry. He's going to wing it over to the far side, looking for somebody out front. Nobody there. Here comes Peyton Lund again. He's going to bring it up the far side. He's got Jelinek near side, and instead they're going to dump it in and get some fresh skates out onto the ice. Pellerin picks the pocket of Barry right in front of us. He's going to take it in front of his own net. Every youth coach in the world cringing at that move, but able to carry it through the zone and get it back up into the neutral ice.
Pellerin is so talented. He knows exactly what he wants to do before the action starts. You can tell how he was setting himself up. He was going to take that pass.
And this time it was Barry again that walked his way through the entire heart of the Eastern defense. Still got that shot off, but off the mark. Now on the far side is Best. Cole looking for it. Back to Cole, to his skates. Backhands it towards the goal mouth, but can't get it to Stevens. And finally, Stevens going to lean over and cover that one with 7:13 left in the opening period.
Well, Mr. Stevens is definitely keeping the Spartans in this game. If you look at the shots on goal, how it's changed now in the last 3-4 minutes. Eastern's picked up their offensive intensity, but Stevens has done a great job of shutting it down. But there's been some quality shots the last 4 or 5. He's done a nice job for the Spartans.
Puck up to the top of the circle off of a couple of leg pads and kind of dies down into the corner. Now Thompson with it again for the Eagles. Tries to go backhand behind him over to Lusk, but nobody there for him. Looking for Lusk again out front, and Lusk has it taken right off of his stick. There to pick it up is Dzurkis. Now Lusk poking it back behind as the Spartans look to head the other direction. San Jose quick in the transition here. Much quicker than Eastern through the neutral zone, at least through the first half of this period.
But one thing I picked up from Eastern, they're doing a nice job of back checking. And so when they are getting beaten in the neutral zone, someone's picking up a Spartan. So that's good to see also.
Lusk kind of doing everything here. And that's going to be a trip. It was Brody Roach that hit the ice.
I'm just glad it's not Eastern. To be honest
Looks like it's
with you.
Kenneth Brown headed to the box for the Spartans. So 13:40 of this first period. It'll be Kenneth Brown, 2 minutes for tripping. Eastern's first chance on the man advantage, looking to make quick work of this one. See if Eastern can find the back of the net with the extra skater. They win the face-off over to Lusk on the right side, tipped out front and right into the glove of Stevens. Good positioning there by the netminder for San Jose State.
But you notice how quick they went. They had the puck over to Wells. He kicked it over to Lusk real fast, and he took that quick shot, and Jelinek almost got that in. That was some good puck movement by Eastern.
Jelinek going to try and do it again for the Eagles. This time he wins it and almost gets a shot off on accident. Kind of backhanded there. That one's going to float all the way down the ice. Out of his net comes Kennedy. He's going to lay it off for Wells.
One thing I like what the coaches are doing, they either got Dedurkis on the point or they put Lusk back down. They both have outstanding shots. That's good heads-up coaching there.
It was a good setup play there by Eastern. Lusk with it now, looking for Lund in the middle. Instead, he's going to go back behind the net to Jelinek. Jelinek back up to Lusk. He's going to go top of the zone to Wells. Back to Lusk now. Thinks about the shot, fires it, lifts it just a bit too tall, and the official going to knock that one down. And it'll head all the way back to Kennedy with 1:10 left on the power play. Eastern going to have to go the full 200 feet here. And it's going to start on the stick of Wells. Backhands it across the zone over to Lund. I'm sorry, that's to Zerkis. Zerkis with some speed. Right out front to Arver. Arver can't get a stick on it. Now a shot from an odd angle by Smith. Back to pick it up is Pellerin behind the net to Arver. Arver tries to get it to his player up top, waiting in the at the point, but Smith had started to skate down the low wall. Will reset on the other side. Tierney across the blue line for Eastern Washington. Drives it down into the corner. Still with the puck. It's going to come near corner now to Smith. Smith back to Tierney. Tierney looking to set it up. Smith over to the far side. They're going to say that one was kept in the zone to the chagrin of the San Jose State bench. Now Pellerin thinks about the shot, top of the zone, off the wall over to Arver. Arver again puts it in the same spot, and again, nobody there for Eastern Washington. Arver knows where he wants it. He just needs his teammates to be there. Smith again on net. And Pellerin loses that out into the neutral zone as the penalty expires, so the Eagles looking to reset here. That one sent down the ice. They're going to say it was touched, so no icing.
Even though Eastern didn't score on that power play, there was some great puck movement by them, and that just shows you that they're getting comfortable again.
So one across and then cleared again. Now with some speed comes Barry. He's got Parsons waiting in the middle. That's where he goes. Big kick save by Scott Kennedy to keep this one level.
Roach is taking a beating on that one. That was a great job by Brody.
Now the other way is Nickish. Out of the net again comes Stevens. Little Grubauer-esque there with big moves through the paint. Sliding off into the corners, but reset again. This time it's Nickish that brings it in. Jake with it, puts that on net, and wisely covering that, giving his team a chance to reset is Camus Stevens.
I tell you, though, I just can't say enough positive things about Dedurkis. The kid is just a stud out there. But then, again, his line mates, Lusk is picking up. Lund, solid. I mean, you could go on. That's why don't let the record fool you. They are going to be a force later on this year.
Battle back behind the net again, looking out front. Eastern really looking to set up that play with a man out in the shallow slot, but just not able to connect their stick to the puck when they're in that position.
But it bodes well for them because they're getting the puck behind the net. They just need to space out just a little bit further out, and that pass will be there.
Now again with speed down the left side is Codner. Nothing doing there, and again touched up. They're going to say that is going to be an icing, but no, it'll go towards the goal mouth. That'll prevent the icing from happening. This one slapped in the center of the zone. That'll be a high stick, I assume, if Myers got there, and he didn't. So play continues. But the heads-up move to slow down the play coming through the zone. That's what Eastern's going to have to do.
We're going to get a checking from behind, no doubt, on this one.
And now Dzurkis is in there. Needs to keep a level head as he doesn't want to take one as well.
But Dzurkis, that's another thing about him. He will stand up for his teammates.
He is not afraid.
No, if he thinks someone's done his player wrong, he's going to let him know, which he did right there. But that's definitely going to go 2 minutes, and that might be a 5.
That was pretty obvious, or pretty egregious, I should say. And it looks like they are going to get Dom. So Eastern Washington shooting themselves in the foot again, have the opportunity at the power play, and instead they're going to take a seat as well.
Well, Coach Oyen's questioning that, and
it looks like he might get an unsportsmanlike, as his penalty's not on the board and his helmet's off in the box. So Eastern may still have this power play opportunity here, but they're going to be without one of their leading scorers for likely the remainder of this period and half of the next one almost.
If that's what the referee gave him, but I'll tell you from a coaching aspect, you can let that one go with what Dom did, because he's letting the players know we're not playing this game. You're not going to take liberties on my teammates. So I don't think any of the coaching staff would be upset with what Dom did on that one, because that's just standing up for your teammates, and that's what he's done well this year with. And people know that, and that gets around the league like, hey, look at this guy will definitely let you know not to do it. But it looks like they gave 4 to San Jose, only 2 to Dom. So, but that's a penalty a coach would not get upset with what the Dzurkis did. Because that's all he was just letting him know. Nope, we're not going to go with that. And it's good to see teammates just do that. Well, now they took the 4-minute off from San Jose, so I'm not sure what they're doing right now.
Okay, so they're just going to give them matching minor penalties here. Dom for a rough, I believe, and a check from behind will be assessed to Werner.
Man, that was a hard hit.
Well, we'll see if we can get a replay here on that one with our new replay machine. So we're playing 4-on-4, and Eastern back in control here. This one out front. Kennedy hugs his post. And now down the right side, here comes Eli Nickish. Has a couple of men to beat. Now he's got help in the form of Joel Lusk. And instead, puck headed back the other direction.
Nice save by Kennedy
so
on
here,
that
let's
one.
Let's take a look back at this hit. So you can see that hit down there in the corner.
Oh,
pretty egregious there.
That was a hard hit.
And that one, a big shot right into the glove of Scott Kennedy.
But again, you notice as soon as it did, Dom just went right toward him. Again, that's a penalty a coach is not going to be mad at with the Dzurkis on all on that one.
Well, now play slowing down just a little bit. And as I say that, through the neutral zone goes Arver. But seems like the attitudes have calmed a little bit here. Sometimes you get a situation like that, especially a big hit with a retaliation, that leads to some extracurriculars. But these two teams seem to have a level head at the moment.
But I'm pretty excited. We got that replay going now. That's great.
Huge shout out to our booster club and to Jeff for helping us out on the replay today. Kayla over here directing for us, as always. Smith on the right side. Thinks about the shot, goes around the defenseman. Good read by Stevens. This one into the hand of Smith. He dropped it on his stick just inside the blue line, but only slowed them down. He's going to head back to the bench now. That one pinned to the ice underneath the leg pad of Scott Kennedy. I'd say that's the closest San Jose State's come to scoring tonight off of that rocket from Felipe Castellanos.
Castellanos is a talented hockey player, and Eastern has got to make sure they know where he's at all time for San Jose. The kid is extremely talented.
Tie up right on top of the faceoff dot. Pushing and shoving in the corner, and it's going to be the Eagles that come away with the puck. Off to the far side is Lund. He's got a man behind him. That's where he goes as he's put into the board. Shot into the back of a Spartan, and that's going to lead to another Spartan penalty. And they're going to call an elbowing. So lots of open ice here for exactly 2 seconds. And then Eastern going to have a 5-on-4 power play, as going to timeout is Jason Codner for elbow.
I really like what I'm seeing out of Eastern. They're putting a ton of pressure with the man with these penalties, and so
that one officially 1938 of the first period. So San Jose State likely to have to play shorthanded into the second period unless Eastern finds a way to score here in the next 15.4 seconds.
they keep doing that, they will, because that was a nice shot from the point by Wells and almost was tipped in by Lusk.
Face-off won by the Eagles. Up top to Lusk. Winds up, fires, and again scrambling as Stevens. Near side again to Lusk. This time he's looking for a different corner and into the glove of the netminder. And an extra little shove there by Hamilton. San Jose State very protective of their netminder. Eastern getting a little close after the whistle. 4.4 left. We've seen crazier things happen. Face-off win here for Eastern. Or back to Eastern through traffic. Tip down. What a tip by Joel Lusk. Right out front. I'm not even sure how he redirected that back towards the goal.
I'm wondering if Wells just didn't do a shot pass.
It was,
and
they were definitely on the same page.
And tipped that in. But again, Stevens is the one that's held San Jose in this game. I mean, you look at that last save right there. It's like outstanding job by him. But I really like what I'm seeing out of Eastern. Well, they're passing a lot better, and they are clicking.
Well, and as much as we talk about Eastern's physicality, you've got to tip your cap to San Jose State's goaltending year in and year out. After the first period, we're tied at 0. 17 shots for the Eagles, 11 shots for San Jose State. Spartans going to start the second period down a man for 138. Thanks to that elbowing minor from Jason Codner. We'll step away. You're watching Eastern Washington University men's hockey. Friends and family, welcome back to Cheney, Washington and the Eastern Washington University Recreation Center, where we have a PAC8 battle between the hometown Eagles and the visiting San Jose State University Spartans. Neither team able to find the back of the net in that first period, but the Eagles going to start with a man advantage here in the second frame, as serving out the rest of his elbowing minor is Jason Codner. He's got 1:38 left on that one. Hanging out in the box with Swoop over there. My name is Tyler Pisani, joined as always by Gary Allen. And Gary, I think that was one of the better periods we've seen Eastern play this year. They were intact, they were concise, they were attacking, and there was 3 or 4 shots there that should have made it to the back of the net if it was not for Camus Stevens and his 17 saves in that first period.
Well, Stevens is the one that's really kept San Jose in the game. Eastern, I'm really enjoying how they're playing tonight. And you can just start seeing they're clicking a little bit more, and they're putting a lot of pressure on the Spartans. We'll see if they keep that up. If they do, it's going to bode well. And there's Dom. I'm just waiting for him to take a shot. I swear that goes in every time he does.
Here he is. He takes a couple of steps up towards the blue line. Out front, tipped away by Jelinek into the corner, but now back to Jelinek up to the top of the zone. And there's Dom on the left side, and he floats that one just a bit up over the top of the cage. Now he's got to battle for it down into the corner. First player there, kicks it back out to his own man, Lund. Now back to Jelinek, squirts over to Lund. It's going to bounce to the top of the zone. Wells over to the far side. Shot into the midsection, crossed up was Stevens, and he's going to hold on to that one.
It was funny you were talking about Dudurkis on that one. He looked at his stick because he lined that up, and it looked like it was going to go to the top shelf. But then right there, this is what we were saying earlier. Eastern's moving the puck really well. They did a nice high cycle game on that one. They kept floating that guy in that middle slot area. They're moving really well tonight.
Up to Wells at the top, now over to the far side. Near side now to Dom. Straight down, bar down. Dom Dezerkis with the power play goal for Eastern Washington.
I can't keep saying enough good things about Dezerkis. I can't. The kid, every time he gets that puck, I swear he's going to get it in the net. He's just an unbelievable hockey player. Plus a nice kid, too. Really nice kid. But that's what Eastern needed. They needed to finally break through Stevens because he's done an outstanding job. We'll get a replay on that goal, hopefully, here. But when Dom shoots, chances are it's going to go in.
We'll see if we can get that replay lined up for the next stoppage here as Eastern Washington back in possession. Mac Tierney, he's going to push it up. And right at the blue line, it's going to bounce down into the corner. Now off to the far side, floated out into neutral ice, back to Tierney.
Yeah, and one thing about Eastern, when they get that first goal, they feed off of it, and it just seems like they'll tally 1 or 2 quickly.
Well, we talk about it. It's like ketchup. You get it rolling, and it's just going to keep on coming. It'll tie it behind the net as San Jose looking to go all the way down the ice. Across the blue line goes Barry. He's pushed off into the corner, loses the puck back behind the net. Off to the stick of Dysart. Bouncing puck out into neutral ice. Off of an Eastern player as he goes tumbling. Looks like that's Arver. Little rough skate back to the bench. Near side, Dysart going to pick it up for San Jose State. Brings it into the zone. Leaves it off for his trailing man. That was Castellanos off of the wall behind the net. Now this one pushed up ahead. Into the skates of an Eastern Washington player. Looks like that time it's Pellerin as he brings it in. And a dangerous puck, but let's take a look at this replay. It's a little jumpy as we have some internet issues here in the building. We'll try and get that one back again here in the next stoppage.
One thing I was curious on how San Jose was going to do an adjustment, try to slow Eastern down, and I think they're going to have to clog that neutral zone a little bit more because Eastern right now is just kind of willing themselves into that offensive zone, and they're getting quite a few good shots. But again, Stevens, he's been shutting the door down for the Spartans.
To Carew off over to the other side. Eastern with it out in front to the slot. Bouncing puck in the
But again, there was Stevenson again that that shut the door down on Eastern. And again, I give credit to him. He's played an outstanding game for the Spartans. But there's Best, who's another really talented hockey player. I like that kid a lot. Nice shot. That was a quick one by Carew that bounced off Stevens' blocker. But again, Eastern's just attacking, and that's when they're strong, is when they just go for it and put the pressure. That's when they're very, very tough to stop, and that's what I'm seeing right now out of Eastern. They're just putting a relentless pressure on the Spartans. Nice play. That was Roach. That was an outstanding job by Brody Roach. That was going to be a point-blank shot. He dove for it and knocked it with his stick out of there because the Spartans had that 2-on-1. Great heads-up play by Brody Roach on that one. But again, Brody's a pure defenseman. He knows exactly what he wants to do. He's kind of like Pellerin. A high hockey IQ by both of them, and it's a pleasure to watch. Looks like Luss is going to take the draw for Eastern. We're having a little technical difficulty. That's where Tyler went. He's trying to figure out what's going on. So he'll be right back. Keegan Clark tries to take a quick shot, knocked down by Spartan. Quick pass over, and that was by the Gurkis out in front. Almost got a one-timer. I think that was Thompson that almost had that. Wells gives chase in the far corner. Dom picks it up. He takes a quick wrist shot. Went up high. Nice glove by Stevens because it looked like it was going right underneath the crossbar. But that's where Dom DeZerkis is so dangerous. It doesn't matter where it's at. Dom, he's going to shoot it. Dangerous. Matter where it's at. And he has an unbelievable slap shot. Dangerous slap shot. Matter where it's at. And he has an unbelievable slap shot. Dangerous slap shot. Matter where it's at. And he has an unbelievable slap shot. Dangerous slap shot. Matter where it's at. And he has an unbelievable slap shot. Dangerous slap shot. I'm not really sure what's going on. We're getting some feedback. So we will get all that as soon as I'm not really sure what's going on. Feedback. So we will get all that as soon as I'm not really sure what's going on. Feedback. So we will get all that as soon as I'm not really sure what's going on. Feedback. So we will get all that as soon as I'm not really sure what's going on. Feedback. So we will get all that as soon as I'm not really sure what's going on. Feedback. So we will get all that as soon as I'm not really sure what's going on. Feedback. So we will get all that as soon as I'm not really sure what's going on. Feedback. So we will get all that as soon as I'm not really sure what's going on. There we go. Tyler got it correct. I knew he would. It was just a matter of time, but
sorry about that. We got this new fangled replay machine.
It's great.
As always, when we add something new to the broadcast, it's a little bit of hiccups, but I think Jeff and Kayla are killing it over here.
They are. You know, Tyler, you and I, every game seem to have a little bit of technical difficulties. That's just in our blood, I think.
Yeah, we need to get that computer a little hardwired internet, and I think we'll be all set.
It's good to have it.
Some great action here as Eastern Washington now leading 1-0. But San Jose State knocking on the door here these last couple of minutes.
Stevens is the one that's really, really holding the Spartans in this because he is facing an unrelentless attack by the Eagles, and he stood his ground really well, but only Eastern's just putting a ton of pressure on him. This is where they're really dangerous.
Now battle over onto the far side with some speed. Top shelf backhand goal.
There was absolutely nothing Kennedy could have done on that one. Tip your cap to the Spartans. He just deked the D-man just out of nowhere. That was one I think you really wanted to go for with the body. and not try to play the puck.
Well, and I thought they were going to have a battle there at the top of the circle, and instead, Danny Barry just walked right around the side of the Eastern Washington defenseman.
Yeah.
And top shelf found the back of the net. So at the next stoppage, we'll see if we can get you a replay of that one.
Yeah, you'll see where I think now the D-man would wish he would have just went with his body rather than trying to play the puck on that one, because the guy did a great job of sliding it between his feet.
So we talked about how evenly matched these two teams are. Went through the first period, nobody able to find the back of the net. And just over 5 minutes into this one, and both teams have been able to find the back of the net. Back out into neutral ice, this time carrying in is Codner. This time Eastern uses the body and knocks him off, but let's take a second and take a look back at that replay. Starts off on the Eastern end of the ice. And here we go. That's where I thought they might come together, but a good move by Barry to get it right around the outside.
It was a nice move. But to be frank with it, that one, again, I keep zeroing in, but that was a body play there. And I didn't see who picked up the penalty for Eastern on that one. It looks like it could be Jelinek, maybe.
I think that's Roach over there. So Brody Roach going to take a 2-minute timeout.
Well, I apologize to Jelinek on that one, because
5:51 of this second period. It's going to be Brody Roach, 2 minutes for interference. So Eastern Washington now on the penalty kill as the Spartans looking to attack and double up on their goal total for this period and put themselves in the lead for the first time in this game.
But you got to give credit to the Spartans, man. They are trying, they're wheeling, and they're trying to mount a nice little attack on this power play.
They do have 8 power play goals on the season so far. And those 8 goals coming in just 8 games.
But the Spartans got to be careful. That was a great example. They're not really understanding how quick Eastern is. I saw Luss do this, and Lund almost did that too. He almost beat the defenseman going back for that puck and have a breakaway.
Well, very patient hockey here. Eastern had the puck back below the goal line, and instead of trying to find somebody in the zone, just floated it out to Pellerin in the neutral zone so that they could kill some of that penalty off. 33 seconds left before Brody Roach leaves the box.
And that helps tremendously, because we got a penalty on the Spartans, it looks like.
And a big hit back in the corner. We'll see if we can get a replay of that one. But Eastern Washington very unhappy with that.
Looks like Brown's going in for the Spartans.
So just like that, the penalty or power play is over.
But you mentioned it. That's part of the pressure Eastern's putting on the Spartans. They're not letting up at all. And that one was just a plain Eastern out-hustled the Spartan player, and he took him down off that one. And that's why it's boding well for EWU, because they haven't let off the gas. But Stevens, if he wasn't playing so darn strong, this game would be out of control right now. But you got to tip your cap to him.
So we'll have 15 seconds here of 4-on-4 time, and then Eastern going to head back to the man advantage. This one chopped away from behind, and still able to get that shot on net was Dzurkis. And another big stand there by Stevens for San Jose State. 5 seconds left on the penalty clock as Roach, I think, is going to head back to the bench here. Eastern setting themselves up. Face-off won by the Spartans. This time keeping it in. Off of the shin pads was Clark. Eastern back to 5 men. The last goal came on the power play. This one sticked up into the netting. Looked to be a pass from Lusk, but up into the netting by Duncan Warren.
That was a great heads-up play by Warren on that one, or that would have been an easy tip-in shot because you saw what Les was trying to do. He was trying to set it up where Jelinek went down in the corner, and that would have been an easy tip-in, but great job by Duncan for the Spartans.
Puck back up to the top of the zone. Put on net. Turned away. Lund with it behind the net. He's got a man out front. Rolls across the shoulders of Stevens. And now here comes the goal scorer, Barry. He's going to leave it off for Codner. And some short-handed opportunities headed the way of the Spartans. And it looks like Barry hits the ice hard back behind the play. Jelinek now feeding it up front, sticked away by the handle of the stick of Stevens, it looked like. That one up into the netting. San Jose State a little frustrated there as Barry came together with an Eastern player, and Barry took the worst of it. He's having a conversation with the officials now. But he wants to know why that wasn't a kneeing or a tripping or a slew foot or any number of penalties that it could have been. And I think they just ran into each other.
They did, and Wells is the player for Eastern did, and they just collided with each other. But I could see where Barry thought, well, how come I didn't get a call? But that was an instant play. There was a great example of Wells using the body rather than playing the puck. He just went with the body, took Barry off of it, and Eastern got the puck.
Now the Eagles back with it in their own zone. 45 seconds left on the power play. But Blake Brem almost spoiled that party. Now back behind the net goes Kennedy. He's going to slow it up for his own player. Tierney along the near side. Puck going to go to the far side. Now to the near side to Tierney. He's got a couple of players ahead of him. He's going to gain the blue line for the Eagles. Looks to deke towards the center and instead loses the puck. Comes together behind the play with Brian Brem. Now 15 seconds left. Eastern's last chance down the ice with this man advantage. Tierney loses it out into the neutral zone. Arver looking to use his speed to push it ahead. Now Tierney, he's going to get it over to Arver. Arver thinks about the shot with that long stick. Lots of torque there for Robbie Arver. Out of the box are the Spartans, and a couple players again running into each other down low after the whistle. That one was Tierney and Blake Brem.
Did you notice an initial whistle on that one before those two collided?
It was a very faint whistle. It was the linesman on the far side. I'm not really sure why they stopped the play. But they're going to bring it. Must have been an offside because they're out here in the neutral zone. $23 shots for the Eagles, 13 for the Spartans. Puck in the neutral zone again. This one fired off to the far side. Good bounce. Looks like it's going to head towards the net. They're going to say no icing on that. So Eastern able to get ahead here or get one going their way here. Bouncing puck off to the far side. Roach chops at it. Sprawling out is Stevens. And a good battle on the far side again. This time it's the Spartans.
That was a nice play by Eli Nitchett. He's trying to bounce it off the goalie. Oh, top shelfer.
Top shelf and just found the right spot. Looking to see who that was.
That was Barry.
Barry with his second of the night, able to beat the other shoulder of Scott Kennedy. And Kennedy frustrated on the back end of that one. You can see it in his body language. He wants that one back. He knows that he went down just a smidge too early, but what a spot by Barry.
But that's where you got to give Barry credit. He actually kind of was hoping that Kennedy would make the first move, and he plopped it up top. So that was a great offensive play by him.
Now Lund down the left side of the ice, looking to feed it back out front. Now to the top of the zone. Shot taken. Bouncing out front. Loose puck. Stevens didn't know where it was. He's wide of the net. Diving across the blue paint now.
Well, that was Jelinek that was causing all kinds of havoc for Stevens with the puck behind the net.
Now with some speed, the Eagles looking to build up, going the other way. Looking to take it a little softer as they come through the neutral zone. Behind the net is Clark. Keegan has his pocket pick. That one bounces right out front. The Zirkus forehand, backhand saved by Stevens.
I have no idea how Stevens got that puck. The Gurkhas had him fooled, and somehow he got his body stick or something on it, but that was a great play by Dom.
Buck sent down the ice up ahead to the Zirkus. He feeds it out into the center. An opportunity that time for Myers. Now back behind the net go the Spartans. Pinned into the wall, a hard hit as the Eagles looking to take the puck the other way. Atop the PAC8 logo in their own end. Now to Thompson at center ice. He's going to gain the blue line on the right side. Has to re-corral the puck. He's got DeZerkis out front. Instead, he tries to take that shot himself. Turned away by Stevens. Battle in the low corner. Eastern still in possession. Zirkus looking for somebody out front. Dom can't find anybody. Now Pellerin able to keep it in just at the last moment. Back to Pellerin. He's going to fire that shot. Blockered up over the cage by Stevens. Now this one ripped out front, and Barry, the 2-goal scorer for San Jose State, with it. He's going to feed it off in his own zone. And a big hit behind the play. We'll see what they call here. That one looked like he hit him clean on the side, and they'll call a boarding here. Must have been a couple of steps away from the wall there. Hard to tell from where we're at, but it's going to send Sam Thompson to the box, and it's going to send the Spartans to the power play. We'll take a look here at that last goal by San Jose State. You see that just top shelf by Barry. So that penalty coming 12-18 of the second period. It'll be Thompson for a boarding.
Well, we talked about it in the first period. There's certain penalties that are good penalties, and there's other ones that the coaching staff will not be very happy with when they look at the film on that one.
The big save by Kennedy. There's a quick recap of the goal scorers so far in this one. Eastern opened it up in this period, 56 seconds in, thanks to Dom DeZerkis. The assists on that power play goal going to Trent Wells and Joel Lusk. And then Daniel Barry. 2 goals in this period, one assisted by Chris Dysart, the other from Felipe Castellanos. And now the Spartans looking to add to their goal total here in this second period. It's been a bugger for Eastern Washington the last few years. Second period yips a little bit.
But you got to admit, Kennedy's having a strong game for Eastern tonight. The kid's playing outstanding.
14 saves, a backdoor opportunity for Dysart. And a swing and a miss. That's going to be sent all the way back down behind Stevens. A minute left just over on this power play. San Jose State using all the time they can. And again, with that speed comes Barry down the right side. He has a chance up front, has to take it behind the net. Over to the far side, top of the zone, back down to Dysart. Dysart takes that one awkwardly off of the leg. He gingerly heads back to the bench. Puck down the ice to Stevens. Pressure there by Wyatt Stevenson. San Jose State in their own end still. Spartans looking to push it up ahead. Nobody there. They're just going to let that one go. Eastern has to battle and can't get there as Kenneth Brown beats out the icing call. Walking towards the front of the net, turning around goes Brown. And instead, it's going to squirt its way back out into the neutral zone. Gains the zone of the Spartans. That one off of the wall, off the glass rather, and Eli Nickish up over his head. Brown again on the far side. Out of the box comes the Eagles, and DeZerkis out there now. Big hit in front of the net by Tierney. Knocks a Spartan player all the way to the corner. Moved by Lusk in the center of the zone. He's going to push it on over this time to Pellerin. Pellerin, quick stop. Tries to find somebody up the wall. Nobody there. Now he needs help down in the corner. And somehow Pellerin, after all of that, able to squirt away, but San Jose State going to take it and head the other direction. This one's going to bounce off the wall. They're going to say it wasn't touched. So that'll be an icing as Eastern, the first player to get there. Jersey number 24, Sterling Myers. He's in the right place at the right time a lot tonight. Haven't said his name a whole lot, but when we have, he's the one that's battling down in the corner. He's the one in those foot races getting to that puck first. Just under 5 to play in this second period. 26 shots for Eastern, 17 for San Jose State, but the Spartans, Danny Barry specifically, able to find the top shelf twice. Behind Scott Kennedy, Stevens needs to reset here, fix his equipment a little bit.
One thing I've noticed Spartans have changed a little bit in this period compared to the first. They're actually letting Eastern dictate a little bit of what they want to do, and then they come on the attack, and that's an interesting format, a change for the Spartans on that, but it's working for them. They're playing well.
A puck over to the far side. Myers with it again. Feeds it up ahead to Lund. Lund, one-touch pass, trying to find somebody through the neutral zone, but it's going to be the Spartans who corral that, bring it back into their own end. Jelinek has it, takes that shot, lifts it just up too far. That play started with Lund getting a stick in the way of that clearance, and it just happened to bounce right to Jelinek. Out front from one knee, and just not able to find the handle on it was Wyatt Stevenson. He got the shot off, but just about a half step too late and gave Stevens a chance to put himself in front of it.
But that was a nice job by Stevens on that one, because he was actually moving to his right, and the puck went to his left. Nice recovery by him. He's had an outstanding game tonight.
Roach able to bring it in, almost pulls his team offside with a move at the last minute, but able to get that shot off. And again with it, Smith on the far side, he slaps it back behind the net as Warren for San Jose State tries to feed it around the boards again. Eastern, a menace in the attacking zone tonight. Clark has it. Looks to feed it across, but a mishandled puck by Keegan. He's got to wait for his teammates to get back on side, and he'll just rip it around the corner. And Robbie Arver going to chase it down into the corner. A big hit on, looked like Brown down there. Players falling all over each other. And they'll call that a trip on Robbie Arver. I think he just got a little loose out there trying to stand up, but he's going to go take a seat in the box with 3:26 left to play, officially 16:34 of this period. They'll say Robbie Arver, 2 minutes for a trip. Eastern Washington, their 5th penalty of the game.
One thing I like what Eastern's trying to do, they're trying to do touch passes. And that's working well for them because it keeps that offensive attack going. And sooner or later, if they keep doing it, they'll find the net. But Stevens has just been incredible in net. But I like that touch pass system they're going to right now.
Double touch shot there by Codner. Rough touch on his first touch there, but able to get the shot off still. Dysart behind the net looking for somebody out front. He's going to go Barry. This time, Kennedy was able to turn away. Jelinek slaps that down the ice, and now here comes Lund. He's got one man to beat and can't get past Brian Brem. Again, almost a takeaway in the neutral zone or in the attacking zone for Eastern Washington. Instead, Codner going to bring it into the zone. Castellanos puts that off of the end wall.
But if you saw what Lund did, he tried to he let the San Jose player get to the puck, and then he was trying to lift his stick up and steal it from him, and it almost worked for him. But you can see he set that up going to the top of the circle.
He's a fast kid. You could tell that he was holding back a little bit, waiting to make a play there.
Yeah. He's an outstanding hockey player.
1:15 left on the power play for the Spartans. Eastern has been 4 for 4 so far on the power play. They're 1 for 3. I'm sorry, they've been 4 for 4 on the penalty kill. 1 for 3 on the power play. Bouncing puck mishandled. But the Spartans almost had a wide open net on the backside of Kennedy, and still waiting there off of the far circle is Brem. That's where they go with the puck. And now near side to Barry again. If you catch it, their wings on the outside aren't sticking close to the slot. They're floating way out into the circle and waiting for that pass so they can take a couple of steps in before the shot.
Well, they're trying to do a one-timer, and doing that, they spread out the Eagles. So they're doing a nice job. But I really like the patience of the Spartans right now on this penalty. They're done an outstanding job on the man advantage right now.
They are working hard to – big shot there again. Working hard to tire out Eastern on this penalty kill. They're not necessarily looking for as many shots as they can, but they're looking to get this team tired out as much as they can.
Well, and that's what you were talking about, how their wings are out further, and that's what's doing it, because they're making Eastern chase them a little bit further out than what you normally would think of most teams would do. But that's a great adjustment by the Spartans on that one. That was a nice power play they're doing right now, but their patience is what's standing out to me on this. They're taking their time, and they're trying to make Eastern chase them, and they've done a nice job in the last minute and 51 seconds.
7 seconds left on the power play. Mishandled puck at the top of the zone by Warren. He's going to put that on. Back behind the net it goes. Kennedy lost it, so the Spartans going to reset here. Eastern still not out of trouble. Some tired legs out there, but they are back to five-a-side hockey. Pass through the blue paint over to the near side. Arver with it. He's got a man up ahead. Able to touch it up was Stevenson, but straight to the stick of Arquero for San Jose State. Arver lines up a man in the middle of the neutral zone. He had no interest in that puck, and I'm not sure why they blew the whistle.
I'm not either, but I thought Arver may be going in the box on that one.
I mean, the puck was at their feet.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It looks like it's going to be Tierney after all of that. Or no, there is no penalty. So after a discussion here, looks like it's going to come back out to neutral ice, an errant whistle. And the puck just outside of the Eastern Washington blue line with 58 ticks. And a technical, been watching too much basketball, Gary, but a misconduct.
On who?
Unsportsmanlike here on Dysart. As he was heading to the bench, he said something to the official, and the official did not take kindly to it. We'll see if they give him a 2 and a 10 or just a 2 here.
But, we were talking about that, how you take the body compared to playing the puck, and that was a great example of taking the man, what Arver just did, because that kid wasn't going nowhere with the puck. He was gone, and that was the difference for that one penalty or that one score the Spartans got. Arver took the body, and that was it. That kid was done.
So we'll see what they give them officially, but Eastern Washington back on the power play. Stick of Wells now near side to Zerkis. He found his spot, but Stevens put his glove in the way.
Yeah, what he was trying to do, he was trying to use Brown as a screen on that one and give Brown credit on that one. He kind of slid right when the Zerkis was starting to wind up, and Stevens was there for the glove stop. A nice play by Dom on that one, though, to get the shot off.
So one up top to Wells at the blue line. Thinks about taking the shot. Instead, he's just going to stick handle for a moment, try and draw the defense out. Shot from the far side. Chopped back towards the goal mouth. This one dumped all the way down the ice. Awkward bounce off of the wall, but straight to Kennedy. He's going to leave it off. 30 seconds left for Eastern Washington.
But it is a great to have Wellesley back.
It
really is.
So it looks like they just gave Dysart a 2-minute player-to-player unsportsmanlike conduct. So didn't say anything to the refs, but said something to a player on his way to the bench. Eastern has to reset themselves. Not able to follow that one in, and that'll do it here for this second period. Eastern, for the second period in a row, going to take a man advantage into the locker room, but it's San Jose State that's going to take the goal advantage into this second break. 11 shots for Eastern in that period, 9 shots for San Jose State, but they lead 2-1 with Chris Dysart in the box. We'll be back in 20 minutes. You're watching Eastern Washington University men's hockey. friends and family, welcome back to Cheney, Washington and the Eastern Washington University Recreation Center. It is Friday night PAC8 hockey with your buddies Tyler and Gary here from the URC in Cheney. San Jose State taking a 2-1 lead into the locker rooms, but for the second time this game, they also left a man in the box at the intermission, as this time it was Chris Dysart, who was in the middle of a 2-minute timeout for unsportsmanlike conduct, something he said to another player. So for the next minute, 2 seconds to start the period, Eastern Washington going to have a man advantage. They scored their one goal courtesy of Dom Dezerkis on the power play early in that second period, just 56 seconds into the period. So they'll look to repeat that here in the third. Gary, it's been quite exciting hockey here, quite frankly, between these two teams.
It's been an outstanding game. Well played by both squads. You can tell they're pretty evenly matched. Eastern just got to keep doing what they've been doing the last two periods. Keep putting the pressure on. Sooner or later, the floodgate may open up. But Stevens has played an outstanding game. But got to give San Jose credit. They never balked after they got down 1-0. So we'll see if there's any adjustment. But Eastern just needs to play with how they're doing, and that puck may go in.
Well, hopefully we'll hear that goal horn donated by the Eagles Hockey Booster Club here in this period as the Eagles look to level up against San Jose State. The one thing I don't think Eastern wants to do is head to overtime. They have played a lot of extra periods here over the last couple of weeks, including last weekend, where they took both games to an extra frame and Saturday to a shootout. But that next goal is the most important one here for Eastern Washington.
Well, this is crucial that they get it in now. That'll set the tempo for the rest of this period.
And they had an opportunity there, but nobody in red able to capture that puck in the slot. So back out into neutral ice as Dezerkis knocked off of his skates by Codner. As that penalty expires, Codner comes into the zone. He's going to send it back out towards his defenseman as his player exits the box. Back to five-a-side hockey. Dysart sneaking behind the defense as he came out of the box, but the Eagles quickly joining the fray.
The Eagles caught a break on that one.
And it looks like the Eagles going to get sent to the box for a hook here, unless that's Dysart, who didn't have enough fun there, and he's going to head back. It looks like that is what's going to happen.
Well, he might be tired. Even though he had a couple-minute break on that one, he might be a little bit tired still and wanted a little extra time off that. That's a major break for Eastern right there. And again, that's two power plays they have going in to start this period. They need to capitalize that and just keep doing what they're doing. Pass the puck really well, spread San Jose out, and just keep shooting on the netminder.
So that is 1:21 of the third period. Dysart 2 minutes for hooking. So the Eagles back on the power play, looking to double up their power play total and pull even.
Because it's interesting in this game, you mentioned at the start, it's been well played, and it's really, you don't see a lot of mistakes by either squad. It's just the goals that went in have been good, solid goals. Both teams are playing extremely hard, so it's one of those games like, okay, who's going to make that mistake and who's going to capitalize on it, but it's well played by everybody.
Backside, Sean Smith, back of the net. Just 20 seconds into this power play. And Sean Smith adds to his goal total for the season. Just 1 minute and 41 seconds into the third period.
And that was huge for the Eagles on that one to get that puck in. But Smitty, if you watch what he was doing, he set that up. He was watching on the far side how the play was going in and how the angles were, and he just snuck in, and he was wide open, and he did a nice job of going up on top. But Stevens did a nice job of knocking it down, but it was too much. Nice play by Smitty on that one. Well, he has a lot of offensive skills, so I'm not surprised Smith got that goal at all.
He found that spot and just kind of banged it off the backside of Stevens. into the near post there.
Yeah, he's a very talented offensive player. I think he plays good D and got that little spark in him. That he's got that feistiness. If you wake him up too much, somebody's going to pay a price.
That goal officially 141 of the third period. Sean Smith unassisted on the power play. We'll see if we can get that replay lined up.
And also that goal, what helps is it got the crowd back in it, which is a good crowd here again tonight. Eastern's been drawn really well, but it got them back into it because they were getting ready to – they just wanted to root about something, so that helps them too to get that crowd going.
17:36 of this second period.
The heads-up play by Mr. Kennedy on that one. But Scott does that really well. He knows when a team needs to get that face off, slow down, catch a breath. He's really aware of that, and he's really strong in that aspect of his game.
And actually, it looks like they went back and added an assist to Smith's goal. So Adam Pellerin going to get the assist on that one. That goal, the fifth of Sean Smith's season. And let's go ahead and take a look at this replay. Here off to the right side, just that last moment shot by Sean Smith, able to find the back of the net, as I said, for his fifth of the season. Battle back down in front of the Eastern Washington net now, up top of the zone. Tie game between these two PAC8 foes.
Well, these two games are crucial for both squads. They need to get those points, and so that's why I'm not surprised it's so evenly played right now.
Well, we put a lot of emphasis on that PAC8 tournament at the end of the year where you're seated. But last year, the early game, number 1 UW losing to number 9 USC.
Yeah.
So anything can happen in that tournament, but you definitely want to set yourself up for the best possible scenario. San Jose State did that last year, came into the championship game and ended up falling to the University of Utah. Big hit behind the play, but San Jose State still with the puck into the neutral zone. Dumped high by Castellanos right into the waiting glove of Kennedy, and he's going to flip that off to his own player. But Barry, the only goal scorer for San Jose State so far, able to get that one out. And now with some speed comes Jake Nickish. That one back behind to Best. Best trying to push it ahead to Nickish. He finds a man out front, and just at the last second, Eli Nickish was ready to load up, but a San Jose State player came in behind him. Castellanos with it now into his own zone.
That was Dysart that came over and lifted his stick right at the last moment.
Great
timing. One-timer.
Bouncing puck up ahead to Barry, who's waiting against the crowd here in front of us. He's going to skate off to the bench. As Ryan Carew sends that one just far enough to get it to the blue line. Now into the skates of Dezerkis. Dezerkis leaves it off for Thompson. Thompson has to battle for it. He's knocked down. No call coming here as the Spartans look to head the other direction. Gain the center stripe and flushes it down into the corner. Roach on the near side. Eastern trying to feed it out, but that one passed right to, looked like that was Castellanos. Well, shot for him. Bouncing puck out front, back door. Nobody there. Now a shot from the top of the zone. Into the skates of Lusk. Now pushed ahead to Dezerkis. He's got to skate fast to get there, and he's not going to. That one just a couple of steps late, 14:37. They'll call that an icing. Then we'll go back down in the shadow of the scoreboard.
But again, if you look at that again, there you go with that tip pass, touch pass, however you want to word it. Outstanding job. They were looking for it, and they were trying to do it. And again, Eastern just keep playing their game, and they've been getting some nice opportunities. They just got to figure out how to figure out Stevens in net.
They've been able to do it twice so far, but It has been on the power play with an extra skater and early on in the periods. So they're going to have to dig deep here if they want to score again in this frame.
Well, it's turned into a goaltender battle, actually, because both of them have not let in any soft goals. And so you can start seeing this shaping up for that one.
Eastern Washington, too many men on the ice here.
Way too many.
And finally, it looks like somebody's going to call it here. It's going to be the linesman. Eastern Washington, 6 guys on the ice for a good 15, 20 seconds there, Gary.
Actually, it looked like they had 7 for a moment because both gates opened on that one, and there was 2 guys that went off of it, and that's a mental mistake there.
This is the first penalty of the period for the Eagles. This one coming at 5:50. We'll see who they get to serve it. It's going to be Robbie Arver. Too many men, so that's going to leave them with too few men for the next 2 minutes. And the face-off coming to the left of Scott Kennedy. Eastern's been perfect on the penalty kill so far tonight, has been about 50% on the power play, but they're going to have to stick with that as we get late in this game. Another opportunity for San Jose State.
And that's a penalty that coaches will be very unhappy with because that's just not paying attention. But one good thing, I like Smitty on the penalty kill because he's just feisty enough that he's a thorn in their side, and he's taking the draw right now, and he won it. But that's a good call by putting him out there on that one.
What a chop by Tierney there. Off of the wall, high dump all the way down the ice.
I think it went off however it did, it was a nice play, but I think it went off the San Jose player's stick, and that's why it got so much momentum.
You got to use what you can there.
No question.
Good hip check. Leveled behind the net by Wells. He pokes it away. He's got it now, feeds it out front. Dangerous puck. It just poked away at the last second by Smitty. He's going to head back to the bench.
That was a heads-up play by Smith on that one to get it out in the neutral zone.
Puck along the left side. It's going to rim back behind the net. First player there is Clark. Clark is kind of gingerly down to the ice. He hopped back up there quickly. Good defense there at the top of the zone by San Jose State. I think that was Brian Brem. He's holding off the Eagles player who, if he had not gotten his body there, would have been able to walk right down the ice to Stevens.
And that's what they're doing. I've noticed this whole game, Eastern's trying to do that when they're a man behind. Rather than just trying to tap the puck out, they're trying to do a poke check to get themselves a breakaway, and that almost worked right there for Lusk.
Still 45 seconds left on the power play or penalty kill. And here comes Jelinek. He's got a man coming in. Sauces it over. Well, what a beautiful pass there by Jelinek.
Oh, that was tremendous. But again, see, Eastern is trying to create offense. Even though they're a man behind, they're looking to get a breakout on them.
Now another opportunity. Here comes Lund, kicked away. Off into the corner. And now way out of his net again is Stevens. He looks a little lost out there. Able to get back to his home in the blue paint. And a one-man wrecking crew in the offensive zone is Lusk. He's going to fire that into the chicken wing of Stevens. He's going to hold on to that.
Well, Lusk
has a couple of breaths.
Lusk has that kind of speed. If you watched him for the last 2 years, he's an extremely quick hockey player. Great offensive mind, so that's not surprising he did that because just his speed alone, he's that talented.
And that kills off the penalty. So back to five-a-side hockey. 12 minutes left in this contest.
And you make a good point there how they killed that off. Is Lusk, besides making some nice offensive moves, he took about 10 seconds off that penalty for just doing what he tried to do. Outstanding play by him.
Off the wall, Dom Dezerkis forcing the Spartans to make a play. Kicks it right back to Lusk. Lusk, backhand floater over the top of Camus Stevens. And just like that, Eastern Washington up by 1. Beautiful beautiful shot there by Joel Lusk. It just kind of floated it up over the netminder.
And I think we'll get a replay on that one. If you notice what Lusk did, he kind of tried to deke him, and then he crossed in front of him, and it looked like Stevens tried to poke it. And that made him go down a little bit further, and Lusk did a nice job with just a little feather shot that went in the net. But great job by Lusk, and that's that speed. That's what I was talking about earlier. He's just that quick. Big goal for Eastern on that one.
That goal officially 8:26 of the third period. Lusk from Deserkis. So Dom getting 2 points tonight.
Well, Dom set that up extremely well. He was looking for somebody on his team to cut over.
Big hit in the slot, but the shot got off just in time. That goal was Joel Lusk's 10th of the season. This one batted down right out front. Dangerous puck. Kennedy lost it. Couple of players behind him. And now coming in at trailing the play was Blake Brem. Not really sure what he was trying to do there.
I'm not sure, but Clark took exception to it. Now someone else.
And now they're still going.
Is that Wells that's in there?
It looks like it. Wells is that is Wells, and he is known for sticking up for his netminder. While they get this sorted out, why don't we take a look at the replay?
Yeah, I'd like to see that
last
how it
goal
started on that one, because Clark definitely took exception, as did Wells.
Look at this goal here. It goes back to Lusk, and look at that turnaround and just floats it right back into the corner.
He made Stevens commit. That's what helped him. But yeah, I like to see that initial, how it started in that little scrum.
And so we'll see that. It looks like it's going to be Brem in the box for the Spartans and Wells in the box for Eastern Washington. And the problem here again, Gary, is the retaliation from Eastern Washington has prevented them from getting a power play. And I understand why. He was, in the goalie's face, but I think maybe that last move from Wells might have been just a touch over the line there.
Well, and that's why I want to see it, because I'm a believer if anybody's by your netminers doing anything, you take care of the player that did that. And I think that's what did. I think what happened was a Spartan player came up from behind, and Wells caught it, and he went in and ran some interference. So I have no problem with what Wells. I see what your point is. Yeah, they could add a power play, but you got to have the players that stick up. Here we go. Let's take a look at how this got going.
So out front here, and I think what really started this is, if you watch, Brem comes in here late.
Right there.
And then he ends up falling down. I'm not sure what it was that set off Trent Wells, as he's okay here. Players stand up, and then Wells pulls him out of the pile.
I'm wondering if he didn't take a swing.
Yeah, there must have been something there. There's two men in the box now. And it looks like two minor penalties assessed to the Spartans. One for Eastern Washington. The second one looks like it's going to be Kenneth Brown.
Well, Wells is another player that he's going to stand up for his line mate. If he saw somebody take a liberty on it, he's going to respond to it. I don't really, even though they won't go out, well, they will be on a power play, but no, I give kudos to Wells. Something happened in that scrum. He saw it, and he did not like it one bit.
Oh, and there's a reason that he's the captain, a fifth-year senior here for Eastern Washington. As genuine as they come and as protective as they come. And they'll only put one penalty on the board here, and that's going to be the 2-minute minor for Brem.
Yeah, I give kudos to Wells on that one. And he's fairly mild-mannered unless he thinks someone's took a liberty on his line mate, and he's not going to tolerate it. And that's been his game, and that's why he's valuable.
So at 9:05 of the third period, Trent Wells 2 minutes for roughing, Kenneth Brown 2 minutes for roughing, and Blake Brem 2 minutes for a slash. And now we have some extracurriculars on the other side of the ice.
Now, if you remember these two teams, when they get together, there tends to be a
pizza party.
Well, yeah, it can get out of hand pretty quick with both these teams. So, and you're seeing the physicalities picking up.
And it looks like they're going to move the face-off out into the neutral zone. with some speed is Codner across the blue line. He's got 3 Eagles chasing him. He still gets that shot off. Short-handed 144 of this power play.
But I really like the way the Eagles are playing tonight. They're physical. They're using their speed. They're doing touch passes. This is without a doubt the best I think I've seen them play all year. They have just played as a unit.
No shorthanded goals for the Spartans so far this year. Joel Lusk doing his best to maybe help that number there, but able to re-corral it. Comes across the blue line. He's looking for another one. Has it poked away at just the last second. He's got Lund in front of the net. Instead, he's going to go to Clark up top. Near side now to Lusk. And into the glove out front. As Lund cleared out of the slot by, that looks like, Duncan Warren.
That was a nice stop by Stevens on that one, too, because if you're looking at it, Lund was actually trying to screen Stevens, and Stevens moved around right at the last second, gloved it, because that was a hard shot by Lusk.
That one off the wall tricks Pellerin on the back end.
But if you look at Pellerin on that one right there, he set himself up. He knew that a puck got by him, and he put his body in front of the Spartan, so he couldn't gain any momentum to get it. That's heads-up hockey.
Now Arver picks it up at the blue line, loses it in his skates. He's got to fight for it down in the corner, and instead it's going to come up the low wall to the point. Pellerin there to hold it in. Arver now on the far side, and that one's up and into the netting.
That was a nice play by Smitty, and it was unfortunate. Arver, he almost had the pass, and he looked up a little bit too late, but Smitty was watching for him, and it almost paid off.
San Jose State's done a good job of keeping Arver, the 6'4" forward, from really getting any good shots off. I mean, he's got so much power being that tall with a stick that long, and here comes Lusk. Feeds it out front to Lund. Lusk, back of the net.
Again, that was an outstanding job by Joel Lusk on that one. It was a 2-on-1, and he was waiting for Lund to get in a little bit tighter, and the D-man had to finally make a decision, and he went toward Lusk, and a beautiful pass by him, and Lund was there and just buried the puck in. That was an outstanding play by EWU, and that's what I was talking about. Their passing's been crisp tonight. I liked what Lusk did. He looked for his line mate Lund. Lund knew he was going to get the pass. Somehow he knew it, and he slid in on a different angle.
You see it here. Goes right across and just pokes it home.
See, if you
doubling up their lead there.
If you saw it again, you could see how Lund, his angle, he went from the far side and he cut toward the middle of it, and he snuck right in. Outstanding job by them.
That's Lund's 13th goal of the season. The assist going to Lusk for his 8th helper of the year.
So if we could kick that back on it after the whistle blow or something, we could see exactly how Lund set himself up and angled in, and Lusk saw it at the last minute, and he passed the puck gingerly to him, and he just buried it. And if we can't get it, but just Lund did an outstanding job of really just tracking that play down and how he moved more toward the middle of the slot.
Now here comes Barry on the left side. What a dive by Jacob Nickish, just in the nickish of time.
I was wondering if you're going to come up with something. Nice job, Tyler.
But he did. He got just enough on that one to poke it out into the corner. I'm sure he's heard that way too many times.
I think you're stalling Kayla on that one. She can't even deal with it. She's leaving.
We lost the director.
So I'm done. I can't believe he said that. But, yeah, if it wasn't for Nick, that would have been a point-blank shot. Outstanding play by him. You might want to get her back here before we get to graphics.
Puck out front, another chance there by Eastern Washington. And there's going to be a penalty against the Spartans. Eastern Washington taking full advantage of the special teams coming into, or in this game so far. They've got 3 power play goals, and the Spartans going to send them back to the man advantage. 2 minutes for a trip.
But all this is being set up by the relentless attack that Eastern's doing. They're keeping the gas pedal down, and they're just flooding San Jose right now. And I think they're having trouble dealing with Eastern speed. And on that one, Haven Stevens did an outstanding job of even tracking that down. But Eastern's pressure is finally, I think, wearing on the Spartans a little bit. They're scrambling more, and that's opening up some of the passes that Eastern has.
Well, and Eastern's been very quick on the power plays that they've scored on. They're 3 of 6 so far tonight, looking to make it 4 of 7.
But Eastern's passing has just been outstanding tonight. Their positioning, just everything about their offensive attack has been solid.
Good waste of time there by San Jose State, pinned that against the wall. Saved them about 15 seconds on that penalty kill. Eastern back with it again, down low in the corner. Off to the far side, up top to DeZerkis. He's going to go near side. Big pass to Lusk. Lusk tried to find Lund out front again, but that one just a bit too fast. Now DeZerkis again. Makes one man miss. Somehow still has the puck. Slides it back to Lusk. Rims it around behind the net. Looking for help in the corner, and instead they're going to flip it over to the far side. DeZerkis with it. Able to keep it on his stick. Feeds it around. Looking for the wraparound. Good closure on the post by Stevens. And we're going to get an interference, it looks like, as Lund ran into the netminder, making him drop his stick. So just like that, the power play over at Eastern Washington. Going to take a trip to the sin bin. This one coming 12:50 of the third period. It'll be Lund over there. 2-minute timeout for interference.
But what Eastern did a nice job of, even if they didn't score on the man advantage, they killed a minute and 2 seconds off that clock. So actually it's a win-win for them in a way because of the time that they ate up, even though they didn't score. But I give credit to the Spartans. They have played a really solid game right now. Eastern just putting a lot of pressure on them. They're kind of getting them to scramble, but I've been impressed with San Jose.
A shot taken to the front of the net, but kicked away. Circling in the corner is Castellanos. He's got Barry waiting at the blue line. And now in front of the Eastern bench, but instead it's going to be Dysart. Makes one man miss, takes it straight to the center. And Pellerin picks up the rebound. He's got Eli in front of him. Instead, he's going to go parallel to the blue line and put that shot on net, bouncing out into the corner. Nick Ish has to battle for it, and instead it's going to go up to Dysart. Eastern quickly back on defense. Pellerin, first one in front of his netminder, furthest one back. Finally heads over to the bench as the puck comes across the blue line. Barry makes one man miss, looking to go 5-hole. And what a save by Scott Kennedy. Barry looking to get the headwear flying, and instead the door shut by Scott Kennedy.
I can't say enough about how well Kennedy is playing right now. That one before that shot, that was a tough save by him. And then that one, he's made 3 outstanding, difficult stops in the last minute and a half. He's just played stellar tonight.
Stevens back behind his own net. Eastern up by 2, down a man. 40 seconds left on that power play.
Eastern has looked good tonight. They have looked solid.
Well, and outside of that game against UW in Seattle after the shootout loss, that heartbreaking loss where they gave up 4 goals in the last 5 minutes, outside of that second game against UW, the last 3 of the last 4 have gone an extra frame, and 2 of those have gone all the way to a shootout. Into the end it comes DeZerkis. He picked it up at the blue line and tried to shove it right in that near post. Still battling for the puck. It's going to go out into neutral ice. Roach makes one man miss and then fires it in. Eagles looking to get new skates on the ice. Barry circling around in the Eastern Washington end, trying to get back behind the defense. Dysart with it on the left. He sees Barry behind him. Dysart still with the puck, finds a man out front and goes just past him. And now Warren tries to come in on kind of a one-timer with that puck out in the center of the zone. A good defense by the Eagles, 4:59 left to play.
Well, that's what we were talking about at the start of the first period. Throw out Eastern's record. It doesn't seem that good at a 4-6, but with as many injuries as we talked about, I mean, the longer they keep going in the season, they keep getting their players back. Can you imagine how strong they're going to be come about December, January when they get everybody back? Because they have played extremely well, minus that one game at UW.
And an unlucky bounce. Kennedy moving to his left, thought he had it in his glove and it had fallen out and just trickles across that end line.
But again, give credit to San Jose. They didn't quit. They're not. There's no quit in this team. You can see it. They kept the pressure on. But you're right. It was just kind of trickled off of it. But San Jose, they're not going anywhere. Eastern's got to keep that pressure on them.
That goal off the stick of Cam Morris. Morris going to get his first of the night. First San Jose State player outside of Danny Barry to beat Kennedy tonight. Now with some speed comes Codner on the far side. A one-on-one opportunity. Delayed penalty against Eastern Washington. And Kennedy swallows that one up, but Eastern going to send another man to the box.
That's going to be Cheney on that one. He's going in.
That goal officially 5:17 of the third period. Morris from Parsons.
Now that's what Eastern did need to do at this particular time, because San Jose was starting to get a little more momentum. And it's one of those penalties like the coaches will probably be shaking their head on that one, because you can see the Spartans are picking it up a little bit more. And so, but we'll see. Eastern does a great job playing shorthanded. They're one of the teams that we've talked about it for years. Sometimes they play better shorthanded. So
they've got 4 shorthanded goals so far this season. Only played 8 games.
And you can see what they're doing. They're trying to do a poke or a pass themselves off their tape and try to get behind the defense, but they're not slowing it down. They're trying to tip it and to get that breakaway. And so we'll see if they pick that up.
Face-off to the, or puck off to the far side, rather, of the face-off circle. Still waiting on that side is Barry. He's going to bring it all the way behind the net. Now over to Dysart. Looking for a man near side, and they find the stick of Codner. He can't get that one off cleanly. And Dysart having to chase that back behind the net again. Eastern looking to clear this one and just can't get it out of the zone. The cowbells are a-ringing here at the URC. Eagles fans trying to will their team on in this last 3 minutes. 40 seconds left on the power play. Puck out front and defended well by Eastern Washington. A really tight box there just outside of the slot for Eastern. Not allowing San Jose to do much of anything there.
No, they're actually pushing San Jose out so they can't attack in the top slot. One thing I really like when I'm looking at Eastern's bench, they're all up, rooting their players on the ice, and that is really good to see. Nice block by Roach.
Brody Roach takes that one, and now here comes Lund on the right side, makes one man miss, looks to go goalward, and just wide of the net. He's going to get a delay. He's going to draw a delayed penalty here as Eastern back to 5 skaters. And the frustration on the San Jose State Spartans, you can just see it. A deflating penalty late in this contest. That's going to put them shorthanded for most of the remainder.
That was an outstanding play by Mr. Lund on that one. He really, the San Jose player, didn't have any choice but to try to take a penalty on that one, or Lund would have been all by himself. And
Well, I think
he's dangerous.
And you're right. I think that's really what they had to do at that point, because they had to figure out, is he going to score here if I let him pass? Sometimes you just got to take those professional penalties.
Well, and again, that's a good penalty, because if not, Lund's by himself, and he's such a sniper, you don't really want him to one on zip on your netminder, because chances are he's going to put the puck in. So San Jose was forced to take the penalty, but that helps Eastern quite a bit with 2:11 in this period. But I really like what I'm seeing out of Eastern. The players are into the game. You don't see when your team's shorthanded, a lot of times players will stand up, but all of them were hitting the boards and stuff, trying to give their team momentum. That's very impressive, and that tells you that they're playing as a unit, that they're really forming.
So timeout there for San Jose State as they trail by 1. As we said, Eastern's played a lot of extra hockey over the last couple of weeks. I think they're going to do their best to not play any extra hockey here. Even the officials out there, YMCA on the puck drop.
Well, even Swoop's got him going. He's got him going here tonight.
You got to love college hockey. Face-off won by the Eagles, sent behind the net. Jelinek on his Jets, pushed up against the wall. He's going to pin that one against the wall. Eastern, as much as they're looking for a goal here, they wouldn't be mad if the clock just kept on ticking down.
Well, that's what we talked about before. They ran off a minute or two in the last time.
Lund out front to Jelinek. It's going to go all the way over to Dezerkis. Now back to Lund. Dezerkis has to get there. He can't get there first, but he wrestles Dysart off of the puck.
That was Jelinek that tucked up underneath Dysart and took the puck away from him. Again, they're eating up that clock, and you're right. It's a win-win for them. If they don't score and eat the clock up, they serve their purpose. Be better to get a score. I mean, I'm not saying that, but
if they can eat off that clock, there's 11 seconds left for San Jose State. But right now, a minute 16 left in this game.
They pull the netminder.
And the netminder is gone. Eastern going to pick it up here. Lusk has it. Backhand towards the net. Back of the net. Joel Lusk with an insurance goal. Power play goal, their 4th of the night. And just like that, the Eagles take a 5-3 lead.
I'd like to see that replay, because if you look at how Lusk did his body on that one, there was no way that San Jose player was going to get the puck before he did. He knew it was an empty net. Nice backhand.
So you see him come down here. What a heads-up play by Lund on the back end there at center ice.
And you saw
pushing that one off of the wall.
And you saw how he positioned his body with it. He didn't let the San Jose player get even near the puck. Nice heads-up play by him, and it's going to be hard for San Jose to get 2 goals the way Kennedy's playing.
So a 4th power play goal for the Eagles tonight. Coming into this game, special teams have been somewhere that they have struggled, but not tonight. Eastern able to keep themselves out of the box for the most part in this one.
I know one thing. I'm a major fan of this replay. There's no doubt, Tyler. That was a good call.
So they gave the goal to Peyton Lund with the assist to Trent Wells and Sam Thompson.
I thought it was, well, we both thought it was Lusk.
It was definitely Lusk who had that one. Lund is the one who used his body there in the center of the zone. But 18-19, they look awful similar, and those two players play very similar. They do. Actually,
they seriously do. Their style's the same. Their size is about the same. It's sometimes hard to think who's who on that one. However you look at it, they got the goal, and that's what counts. They're going to win this game tonight.
And Eastern Washington going to move to 3-4 in PAC8 play. As they went 4 for 8 on the power play. Eastern Washington was perfect on the penalty kill. Goals scored today by Dom Dezerkis Sean Smith, Peyton Lund, Joel Lusk. And they're going to say another one for Peyton Lund, but I'm pretty sure that was Joel Lusk. Peyton Lund extending his team-leading 24 points.
Simply outstanding game by the Eagles tonight. I tip my cap to San Jose, too. They played well, but Eastern was very impressive tonight, extremely impressive.
It is going to be a fantastic game tomorrow night when these two do battle again as Eastern Washington looks to pull even in the PAC8 at 4-4. I want to say a huge thank you to our broadcast crew, Jeff, Kayla, Harper, Gary, and myself. Thank you so much, and we'll get the 3 stars, I believe.
Got to give a shout out Harper again. She does such a nice job on the camera.
She does. And thank you so much, Jeff, for running the replay today. Thank you, Kayla, for being our director. It's been a fantastic week here. And I'm excited to get back here tomorrow, Gary. Next weekend, lots of action. 4 games here for Eastern Washington. Friday and Sunday against Cal. Saturday and Monday morning, bright and early at 7:30 against UC San Diego. Eastern going to be almost done with their PAC8 schedule by the end of next week.
We'll talk about that more tomorrow on those games next week. That's going to be unbelievable. But Eastern's just played so well tonight. They keep this up, they're going to be a force.
So that'll do it for us here on a Friday night in Cheney. Eastern Washington taking a 5-3 PAC8 win over the San Jose State University Spartans. We'll be back 7 o'clock, same place, same time for everybody here at Eastern Washington University Hockey. My name's Tyler, joined by Gary. Have a good night. We'll see you at the Barrel House.